Yeah, they had us the first half. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, could be Wayne!
I think I got my swagger back. Oh!
I love it, baby!
Them orange britches. Something about them orange britches.
Tennessee wins! Got us by Tennessee, Jawan Jennings. Jennings makes the catch.
Ball hit high in the air into right field. Going back to Sayre. And Tennessee can say hello, win column. A grand slam in the bottom of the ninth. You can't draw it up any better.
We just won a basketball game, and we're very happy right now. McGrath for the win.
He got it.
If you don't like college football and you watch this one, I'm not sure what your problem is.
Reddit did to do, and welcome into More Important Issues. It is Sunday, April 7th. Hope everyone has had a great weekend. I hope you're not getting worked up about things. No reason to get worked up about. It's all good. We're all good. It's spring practice. I mean, I guess you can be mad that the coaching search has come to an end so quickly with just really no fanfare, no fun, no questions, no random flights, no off the grid.
Yeah, I was ready to start tracking planes. I got pretty good at it the last time, but yeah, there was no kind of drama with this one.
What are your thoughts on RGW? It's yet another story he's nailed.
Yeah.
It's getting weird.
Yeah, I don't like it. I think he's too predictable now. He's becoming too predictable.
In the sense that he's right, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, when you're too right, you're not that great of a journalist because it's not risky enough.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
Do you think he's still playing fast? Is he fast and loose enough is the question, I guess.
I don't know. I think he legit. He might be Danny White. I don't know.
I think we need to tell all what has RGW gotten right, because he's gotten more than I'm comfortable with. Best reporter in South Knoxville. That's 100% true.
Mm-hmm. I think it was it was funny, and it just turned into be like an actual real thing. I think he was just boosting up his following so he could actually be right.
Well, I just like that in everyone's mind we go, wait, did RGW tweet it? And it's like, well, he may be right. So yeah. I guess we're checking it to make sure that we're on the right track. Regardless, I respect it. I respect the hustle. I respect that he's nailed it. He did use, I guess, the wrong name. He used her maiden name, but it is her name somewhere along the line. So
yeah,
nailed it in my book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, she could go by whatever last name she wanted to. I guess that's
sure.
Maybe the husband took her name.
Be hot.
Yeah. I mean, he married an alpha, so that's a good thing. I guess we can start with this since it's already come up. It's kind of the news of the day. I guess
it's the only new news.
Yeah.
Really.
Other than Tennessee wins another series, but again, that's not news.
Not new news. Yeah.
Yes.
There you
go. Yeah, I mean, I did see a lot of people upset about the hire. I don't understand what is upsetting about the hire. There's no glaring things with Kim Caldwell.
No, I don't. I mean, it's not someone tweeted that Tennessee would never hire a non-Power 5 coach to coach men's basketball. So I guess that's the only quote unquote glaring hire, but also not true. Before Rick Barnes, you had Donnie Tyndall, who's not a Power 5 coach. You had Conzo Martin, who was not a Power 5 coach. You had Bruce Pearl, who's not a Power 5 coach. That's as far back I'm going to go because that's as far back as I'm sure. So, not true, number one. But that's beside the point. Yeah, that's it. That's all you can really say about this one.
Ray Mears were also not Power 5.
I kind of figured so, but like I said, just didn't know. And I mean, if we want to just look at, I mean, you can't complain about her winning abilities.
That's all she does.
You can't complain about that. I think the contract's pretty interesting. I think it's almost like she sold herself a little bit. She was like, all right, like, write it in there that I'm going to win or you're going to fire me. I don't care.
Oh, about the national championship? Is that what you're talking about?
National championship, she makes her one of the highest paid coaches in the country, but her buyout reduces by over half, or right at half, over half after the first year.
Oh, okay. I guess it probably has to do with they're paying her buyout to Marshall, which is like $600,000, right? So I guess that might have something to do with it. Maybe,
but I mean, it essentially, her contract says, if I don't win, don't pay me.
Yeah. Hey, bet on yourself.
Right. So what? I don't know what there is to complain about. I mean, you can't love Kelly Harper and not at least appreciate this hire. That's my point.
Yeah.
If you're a Kelly Harper hater, well, I'm not gonna. You be a hater, I guess. That's fine. But the people that are mad at Danny White, you can't hate this, in my opinion.
Yeah, I guess my thing would be who else? Personally, I just don't know all the huge names in women's basketball. So that's probably on me, other than Mulkey and Staley. Gino. Other than that, I'm not really familiar with a ton of women's coaches, but I just think you look at the record. You look what she was able to do at Marshall. I think they were, I don't know right here what they were the previous year that she got. She was only there 1 year. So I think that the only thing that's going against her is she's not proven at this level.
Yeah, you're thinking of Glenville State, where she did really well before Marshall.
Yeah, well, at Marshall, they were 17-14 the year before she got there, and this year they were 26-7. They were 17-1 in the conference.
Right.
So I mean that's a turnaround. I guess she has done it at a Division I program just for a year, but that's a heck of a turnaround in 1 year.
Yeah, absolutely. Which I think it's easier to do now in 1 year with the transfer portal, and you can go out and you can make your team tailored to you immediately. And so I think that it is easier, but that still, regardless, that's awesome.
Yeah. Also, fun fact, she did beat Florida this year at Marshall. So I think that was a selling point too.
Love that. Take that any day.
Yeah.
Love that. Again, I'm with you. Don't know how successful she'll be. She's won both places she's been. One's been for 1 year. I'm in the boat of I trust Danny White. So I'm going to let it see how it plays out.
Yeah.
And I told you I like the contract. I like that it's essentially, if I don't win, you fire me. If I win, you pay me. Let's go do it.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of the Josh Heupel hire, and it's worked out so far. So who am I to say this is a bad hire? My opinion obviously means nothing. So yeah, I'm excited for it. I mean, they Marshall was one of the most prolific scoring teams in the country this year. I think they scored 100 points 5 times, which is impressive in any basketball, but especially women's basketball. So I think that's something to look forward to. If winning and scoring a lot of points is a lot of fun, that makes people want to go to games. That puts butts in seats. So baseball team's doing it. Basketball team did it a little bit more this year, and football teams doing it. So we're just going to score a lot of points, and they also were pretty good defensively too. I think they averaged like 24 turnovers a game on defense. So
yeah, no, 100%. She does have a championship too. I know it was at a different level, but it is a feather in the cap. Why not? You know?
Yeah.
She's
only lost 31 games in her career. It's pretty insane. It was most of those were at Division II, but that's pretty incredible.
We don't like losing.
No,
it's that simple. We don't like losing, so we don't do it.
Yep,
it's part of it. Some people know the definition of losing. We don't know it.
Never heard of it.
All right. Well, I guess let's talk football.
There
was
last
week of spring practice.
I do have a fail about this real quick because I saw somebody for USA Today, like a reporter, say that very thing about they're like the men's basketball program would never hire a.
That's what I was commenting about. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. That was it.
It was Lindsay Schnell. She is a reporter for USA Today and I guess SI Now.
Which is now not SI because it no longer exists.
Correct.
Coincidentally.
Yeah. So just an all-time take. She said, excellent point made just now by a women's basketball coach I'm chatting with. Didn't say who it was, of course.
Because, yeah, you can't reveal your source.
Yeah. Would Tennessee ever hire a head coach for men's basketball that had no Power 5 experience? And then Grant Ramey just basically listed them all out. And there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 in program history that they've done it with. That's just funny to me. I mean, just do a little bit of research before you just post an awful take like that. That'd be nice.
Yeah. I mean, this is a theme of Tennessee is reporters that don't know anything about the university coming in and commenting and believing they know the whole story when they don't. And right. I don't know if you've heard the unofficial fight song, but University of Tennessee, Appalachia, East Tennessee doesn't take too kindly to strangers. So get that out of here. Just get that out of here. Anything else for this hire for Kim Caldwell? If you're RGW, if you follow RGW, it is the same. Kim Stevens, he was right. She's just married now. Her husband's a coach. It's a duo, right? We got another duo on campus.
Okay.
I believe I read that.
Hopefully it works out like the Weeklies and maybe not the Harpers.
So explain that to me. Speaking of that, a lot of people have put this on Danny White and put this on the fans saying the reason women's basketball is not successful is because you fans, us, you all listening, don't support NIL. They don't support the women's basketball team. How has the softball program been successful as of late? The fans don't support women. Softball, I presume, is played by women. How has that happened? How has that worked? Why do I have to hear Kelly Harper's best friend yell at the fans and tell us it's the fans' fault?
You got me. I don't know. I don't know. Softball did win another top 10 matchup with Georgia this weekend. So, yeah, they're doing it right. They got it figured out.
I don't get it, man. I don't get it. We talked about it last time. I wish the best for Kelly Harper. I didn't want her to necessarily get fired. Like, that's not the plan. It's not. Didn't want that, but at the same time, you want to win games, and it was time.
Yeah, she just didn't win games. Games that mattered. God. You know what's bad about like her whole tenure is the only game that we're probably going to remember 5 years down the road is that South Carolina won in the SEC tournament.
That one.
Yeah.
That
one hurt.
Still, I would like to get maybe a 30 for 30 just on that game. Mm-hmm. How did that play come to fruition.
Yeah, somebody should have been fired over that. Whoever's
I think they were.
decision.
I think they were.
Yeah.
I think you got your wish there.
Well,
I'm not saying she 100% keeps her job if you win that game, but I mean, because there's still the NCAA tournament left to play. I don't know if you're leaving this year though. If you knock off the number 1 team in the SEC semifinals,
who went on to win the national championship,
and then I mean, yeah.
Let's move on. Let's talk a little bit football. So last episode we talked about kind of like the position groups of offense, kind of if we thought, they would be more improved this season than they were last season or even the season before that in 2022. And then we only got through offense. So let's go defense. I guess we'll start with the big fellas up front and that defensive line. I like the defensive line. I mean, you didn't really lose a whole lot. Tyler Behrens, you lost him, but I don't know if anybody's just super sad about it.
Well, and for him, I'll say, I legitimately don't. You would have to show me play by play if there was a single player in college football held more than Tyler Behrens last year.
Oh yeah.
So I felt very bad for him.
Yeah. So it's definitely going to be James Pierce, I guess, the most held this year. Or whoever's on that opposite side, Dominic Bailey, Joshua Josephs, whoever it is. But yeah, I think getting Amari Thomas back was big for this group. Obviously, you have Pro Football Focus said it, so it's obviously true. The best returning edge rusher in college football in James Pierce back for another season. You got Joshua Josephs, who's had a promising kind of start to his career. Didn't play a whole lot last year, but you saw like glimpses of him. David Hobbs was a freshman last year that they liked a whole lot. Omar Norman Lott is back. So I think it's just a veteran group, and then definitely a whole lot of talent along that front as well.
Yeah, no, you mentioned Omar Norman Lott. That's a guy who really surprised me. Just didn't know what he would come in and do, and ended up being incredibly impactful with that entire defensive line. But that interior defensive line is a group that, similar to how Tyler Behrens ended up making an impact last year, he was whatever it will make plays all the time, but he was a lot of the reason that guys were able to be free. Other guys were able to make plays, or you're just clogging holes.
Mm-hmm.
Omar Norman Lott did a really, really good job of that. And I think he's going to be another big impact player this year. You have a ton of talent on that defensive line, and he's a part of the reason why. Yeah.
Him, Bryson Eason, Tyree West, who had a big game in that against Iowa there. I like to see a lot more of him, just a freshman last year, but, highly touted guy to high school. Jason Jenkins is a guy that we hear from. They kind of like a walk-on that kind of earned a scholarship, and people think he can be really successful. Jackson Moy, the transfer from Stanford, is somebody that we saw a glimpse of him. Now it was just a highlight, but it was a video of him just absolutely obliterating an offensive lineman in practice. I'm not going to mention that offensive lineman's name because that's probably not fair that that the football account posted that of him just getting whooped. But yeah, like what you've seen from Jackson Moy, and he has that the tribal tattoos, and it just automatically makes him a better football player.
Okay. All right. I like that. This defensive group, or defensive line, excuse me, I think they have to get better than last year. I thought as a whole they were better in 2023. I think they have to take a step. I think you're pretty much keeping the entire group, the entire key group, and they should all take a step forward.
Yeah, I agree. I'm interested to see who's opposite of James Pierce, because I think that is it's a big position. I'm not saying they have to be as good as James Pierce, but you have to be able to, make sure they can't double and triple team James Pierce so we don't have anybody else on that opposite side. So Joshua Josephs, Caleb Herring, Dominique Bailey, whoever that is, needs to have a big year, and they can really benefit being opposite of Joshua Josephs, as did Corey Vereen and Derek Barnett.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. That's exactly what you're thinking about when you have a guy like James Pierce. You're like, who's going to be opposite? And who's going to be Corey Vereen? Who's going to make plays?
Yeah, who eating today? Another guy we forgot to mention, Junkyard Dog. Another year.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, first guy off the bus. Now, definitely dealt with some injuries in his career at Tennessee and just hasn't panned out like you'd hope. But, when he's on the field,
he's impactful, man.
He's all over it.
Yeah. He's an athlete. What do you want him to do? He's an athlete.
Yeah. I can sing. I mean, he's got everything.
He can
sing the national anthem and scare the crap out of a quarterback on third down. I mean, what else more could you want?
Did he sing the national anthem at a baseball game a few years ago? I thought so.
Yeah.
I thought so. Okay. That's pretty cool. That's pretty sick.
Yeah, it fired me up too.
He was 100% better than that girl that just got to sing at every NBA game.
Oh God. Poor girl.
Poor girl. Poor everybody had to listen.
Well, yes, but I mean, somebody told her that she was good, and she believed.
They're saying she's the songbird of this generation.
Yeah. Well, I got news for her. Next position group, let's go linebackers, right behind the big guys.
This is a group I'd like to think it's better. I think it's going to be very, very difficult. I don't know. I think you probably see a step back, right?
I think it's a lot better.
I think there's more talent, but
I think having Keenan Peely back because you only had him for that one game. I think that
I don't know exactly what you're getting.
That hurt. And I just don't think the linebackers played very well last year.
I don't think they played very well in the last 2 years, but also it's like those were your oldest. Those guys had been here for a while.
Yeah, I think Aaron Beasley did not have the same type of year he had the year before. And I thought Elijah Herring struggled.
He did. Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think it's more so the leadership right now. You're losing that core guy in Aaron Beasley. That will be tough to replace. I don't disagree. There's more talent. There's absolutely more talent here this year. Jeremiah Thielener is a guy who could take another step. Last year, he just kind of seemed to be the athlete out there. All right, he's gonna run and make tackles, or he's gonna be involved in plays. Can he be in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing all the time? That's a question that arises this year.
Who is that again?
Thielander.
Oh, Thielander.
Well,
okay.
I think he's a guy that when he was out there, it was just go run full speed, and he was going to do that. Now it's can he be in the right place at the right time, making the right play.
Yeah, I just think those guys just another year, I feel like has to be better. Aaron Carter is another guy that flashed, dealt with some injuries, so didn't get to see him a whole lot last year. He should be back. They have a talented freshman that's coming in, pushing them, and Edwin Spillman. Caleb Perry is still another guy that, plays some, especially third down pass rush situations. So I do like the group. Now, again, I don't know exactly what you're getting, like you said, because I guess right now your projected starters is probably Carter and Peely, maybe Herring and Thielander right behind them.
Mm-hmm.
Or kind of flip-flop, whatever. I don't – and we don't know what William Inge is going to do with these linebackers. Does he's do like Tim Banks and get people in and out?
Right.
I just don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of – unfortunately, there are a lot of questions still too. I mean, it's just not – it's not cut and dry. And I think that makes me say – I think your talent, especially going 5, 6 deep, you definitely have more talent there than you had the last 2 years. Can they put it together? Can they be a unit all year? And yeah, we, Brian G. Marie,
That's what I meant.
Yes.
I said Tim Banks. I meant Brian John Marie.
Yeah, Brian John Marie being gone adds another level of question marks to it. So just don't know what you're going to get out of this group, but I don't disagree with. I think you have a lot more talent on the board than you've had the last 2 years.
Yeah. I guess we'll just do the secondary as a whole. And this is a group where everybody's just been ready to have a different set of guys back there for the last couple of years.
And you finally do. I mean, it's
you do.
There ain't no one.
It's all new. It's all new. So yeah, you just really don't know what you have. I mean, Ricky Gibson played a little bit, and it's crazy to think Ricky Gibson, as little as he played, but did play some at times, in some crucial situations, is kind of like your most veteran player back there, besides maybe Turrentine, because we dealt with some injuries down the stretch there. But other than that, yeah, totally different group for next year.
Yeah, no clue what to make of this. It's one of those, man, love to see some new faces, but also so many question marks come with new faces.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Please be better. Please be 1% better. Please.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely have a hard time thinking they're not more athletic, faster back there. But I do think Kamal Haddon had a great season before he got injured, so that's something that you want to replace. Now, is that Ricky Gibson? I think they dipped into the transfer portal and found some guys that can, really benefit you. And Jermod McCoy from Oregon State as a corner, Jacoby Thomas as a safety from MTSU, and then Jalen McMurray, who we've kind of heard about the last couple of weeks, having a good spring, and him being another corner. And so, I guess you kind of have your 3 corners right now, and what's after that, because as you've seen the last couple of years, who you start with is not usually who finishes the year.
Nah, that's be shocking if that happens. But that also, I think you do have more depth and talent there than you've had in recent years. So I hope that's I hope they built that out. And it's going to be young. It's definitely going to be young guys, but I agree with you. Seems to be more athleticism there than the past year. So I think this is one of those years I'm like, all right, 1% better, surely.
Mm-hmm.
At least.
Yeah.
I think you need to. I think you need to be 1% better, or there's going to be more and more questions asked about Tim Banks after this season.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're fair if you don't get better at that position group.
Yeah, I mean, you recruited basically all these guys out of the transfer portal or out of high school. It's time for kind of show how you can develop them, because you've kind of ridden the same guys in Haddon and even I know Brandon Turnage didn't start, but he was a guy that instead of playing some of those young guys, you played Brandon Turnage and Danico Slaughter.
Mm-hmm.
You had Jalen McCullough back there. You had Wesley Walker. So yeah, you just kind of had the same set of guys and haven't really dipped into this young crop that that's all you got now.
Yeah. It's and I think we've talked about being excited. I wonder how Boo Carter's used. Does he find his way on the defensive side of the ball, or is he just going to be a special teams or special team?
It would be hard for me to. I mean, as much as we've heard about Boo Carter, I mean, again, you kind of got to look at it like Willie Martinez. Like they did not really swap out a whole lot and went with their veteran guys. But as much as we've heard about him, I have to think he has some sort of role on this team.
Right. I mean, he's gonna have a role, I think. But brother,
yeah. Well, on defense,
very much could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't think it's cool to have a great returner, but at the end of the day, how much does that really help your team?
Especially now where they're trying to take one aspect of it away fully.
Yeah. I mean, we're getting to the point where they don't even kick to anybody just because of what could happen.
Right. Yeah. So, no, I want to see him on the defensive side of the ball for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Or if he's not on the defensive side of the ball, let him go play off. If he's not going to play defensive side of the ball, like they maybe seem to try to do with D. Williams, let him go to the offensive side of the ball.
That's what I think too. I'm like, don't just let him waste away. Like, get the ball in his hands.
Right. 100% agreed.
Star position's another position that I'm kind of. It's in that secondary, but it's one that we didn't really discuss a whole lot. You lose. God, who did you lose? McDonald, and now you got Jordan Thomas back there. I know Will Brooks, I think, played there a lot when you kind of dealt with some injuries with Jordan Thomas and McDonald toward the end of the season. Is that where maybe Boo Carter could fit in at? You know, I don't know like how physical you want that guy, but I mean, if a dude's going to make play on the ball, let him make a play on the ball. I don't care where you put him in the secondary.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah. Figure out who your best five is and make it work.
Yep. I think it's that simple.
Yep.
Agreed, brother.
I don't know. Do you want to go special teams, special players?
I mean, we can. The good news is you keep, again, kind of your core group there. So there really shouldn't be many changes. You're going to have your kickoff specialist return. You're going to have Jackson Ross return to the punting position. It's going to be who ends up taking majority of your field goals and extra points. Probably going to be Josh Turbyville. Well, don't take that guy's opinion. He thought the 0 in 2024 was an 8 because he can't read different fonts. That's not an 8, guys, if you're wondering. That's never an 8.
No.
Anyways, but returners is really the only question marks on, I believe, on special teams. I got to imagine it's going to be Josh Turbyville taking place kicks.
Yeah. You think I mean, I think Boo Carter fits in there somewhere. I just don't know is he more of a fart in a skillet guy on punt return, or is he a straight line kicker, or you just let him do both? I think especially if he doesn't have a starting job, I think he's both.
Probably, I would be surprised if he plays the entire year without doing both of them at least a few times.
Okay, yeah, I agree with that.
Now, whether he's the number one guy, whether that,
yeah,
I don't.
Because I mean, the other guy last year was, I think, Cam Seldon.
Cam Seldon kind of managed some kickoff roles, but he was always. It was when they would line up someone opposite of.
Yeah.
D. Williams.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't in place of D. Williams, so maybe something like that where Cam Seldon's taking him, and Boo lines up opposite, or vice versa. I don't know if I'd kind of be shocked if a freshman just walked in, was number one on both, just straight up. That would surprise me.
Mm-hmm.
But
I've only done it a few times on NCAA, but yeah, usually when I'm a freshman coming in,
you don't get those opportunities.
No. Squirrel White's another guy that you're like, okay, he could be a punt returner, but if he's your starting slot, why in the world is he your punt returner?
Agreed. Yeah, agreed.
So, I kind of think the same with Cam Seldon. If he is legit your number 2 back, is that really necessary to have him on? Now, if he's your best guy by a long shot, sure. But if you got Boo Carter back there, I just don't know why. If the other guy, I don't know who else is on there. Maybe can Chris Brazzell do anything? Hey, can Dante Thornton run a kickoff back? I mean, he runs a 4.3. Surely to God. I don't know. I just think there's more people that could be in the running other than some of your
top guys on that you want to. You get hurt. I mean, the fact of the matter is, special teams is a place to get hurt. Like, that's just kind of the truth of the matter.
Has a sketch made special teams more appealing to players, you think?
I hope not, brother. But maybe you should have loved it before then.
Love it, brother. All right. Talk some baseball real quick.
Yeah,
You got anything else?
Please.
You got anything else for?
Not really. I mean, I would love to say that you're going to learn more about this team on Saturday, but you're probably not. It's a spring scrimmage.
Yeah, no.
You rarely learn anything. So it's kind of get this spring scrimmage out of the way. That just means you're closer to fall camp when you really start learning about the team.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're going to hold a lot of people out. Like, a lot of those guys are, like, that offensive line should not look like anything like your starting line, in my opinion.
And it probably won't. So there you go.
Yeah. I mean, it just – wasn't it Auburn spring game that was just like – I mean, there might have been a couple thousand people there.
Maybe. I don't know.
I thought I saw that this week on Twitter, and I'm just like, I mean, it just gets less and less, I don't know, meaningful, I guess.
Yeah.
Because, like, they've scrimmaged like 5 times before this. Like, spring is over.
Which is kind of shocking that it's getting less and less appealing, spring practice as a whole, just because getting transfers in, you think, which I'm not saying this time isn't valuable, because it is. Like, you're learning a lot about what you have, and those guys are learning a lot about the team and the program. But you think they would take more advantage of it because you do have these guys here, but it doesn't seem to be the case for whatever reason. So
yeah, and a lot of those like scrimmages used to be, oh, we get to see these highly touted freshmen, play, and you'll get to see some of that, I'm sure, at some point. But like this, they hadn't been on campus for just a couple weeks, and then you get to see them. So when Jalen Hurd got on campus, you're like, oh yeah, we're going to the Orange and White game to watch Jalen Hurd. Now it's like, I mean, is Mike Matthews even going to dress? I don't know. And you got to pay money to get into it, which we've already kind of discussed that, but whatever.
Right.
It's not going to break the bank, but
which I haven't even seen how the ticket process works this season, but I know a lot of people aren't happy with it. So,
I mean, it was basically like it was like everything. Season ticket holders got an email. They could go purchase however many tickets, and then they just kind of went on down the line until I guess it got to the public. I don't know.
Oh, well, I haven't done that, so I will not be there.
Yeah. But it should be a good day on campus. You got the Orange and White game. You got the Big Orange tailgate or whatever they call it over there. They'll have like live bands and different vendors and stuff like that up until the LSU game that'll be on campus. I think the spring game starts at 1, and then LSU game will be at 5:30. So it should be a great day on campus to just kind of enjoy it, especially if you're going to take the kids. I mean, that's what the Orange and White game was for.
Right.
I think is take your kids. They normally like
for the kids.
Yeah, it's a lot shorter, a lot less people.
Well, and it used to be free.
Yeah, and then you used to be able to get all the autographs, but now you get weirdos that get autographs and sell them on eBay, and I don't know. It's like Xander Seacrest has a $40 picture on eBay right now for sale.
We're selling a Xander Seacrest autograph for $30 though, if you'd like to buy that. So.
Yes, yeah, we're gonna undercut him and put him out of business.
But it's gonna turn out to just be Xander, isn't it, selling those? He's signing them in his apartment. Yeah. We're on to you, Xander. We're on to you.
Yeah. Speaking of baseball. Yeah. Friday, I don't know what Friday was. We're going to skip over that.
Yeah, who cares, honestly?
Yeah. You came back and won the series Saturday and Sunday, run ruled Auburn, and got out of there with a road victory in the SEC, which is not easy. I know their record hasn't looked great, but they have gone against some really good teams, and I'm not envious at all at their schedule up until this point. But yeah, it was a good win. Good to get the bats going. Good to see Drew Beam get going again on Saturday. Xander and Nate Snead held it down today. And, just another series win. A lot of home runs. Blake Burke.
To be
crown
fair,
him.
you've been asking about the bats, and you've been saying, why have they not been there on Saturday when Bean pitches? They said, well, we don't want to waste them on Friday this time around.
Yeah, no.
We'll wait until Bean comes on Saturday.
There's just one day a weekend where we just like, we'll just play 7 innings tomorrow.
Bingo.
Yeah, a lot of home runs, and Auburn has a pretty big park and a pretty big wall there in left field, and Tennessee had no problem clearing that park. I mean, the announcer, I don't know how many times he said it, but those announcers had a rough day today. Probably throughout the weekend, but I watched it at Yeehaw yesterday, and I couldn't hear them. So that was probably good on Yeehaw for muting that, because that was probably best. But yeah, he was just like, I mean, Auburn's hitting it pretty well. Tennessee's just hitting it out of the ballpark. Yeah, that's what they do. This isn't news to anybody. Tennessee now is tied with Georgia for most home runs in the country, 87. Insane amount.
That is an insane amount. And you did mention Blake Burke, home run king, but don't forget about Christian Moore. He's coming.
He's coming too. Yeah,
breathing.
He can't let up.
He's breathing right down his neck right now.
Yeah, this is like a Sammy Sosa, Mark McGuire
on the same team.
Yeah,
or Luke Lipsius, Evan Russell scenario. I don't know why you mentioned those schmucks before them, but that's fine, I guess.
Sorry.
Yeah. You just mentioned two guys forgotten to the annals of baseball history. You have Evan Russell and Luke Lipsius up here, the Hall of Famers, if you will.
It was so long ago. I just forgot about those two. Yeah, I mean that's a huge accomplishment, and the amount of bats that they've gotten to this point and gotten 40. I think Moore is at 39 and Berg is at 41 now.
I thought Moore got to 40 today.
Maybe he did.
I think he did get to 40 today.
Okay, he's at 40. Okay,
I think he's at 40. Yeah,
that's right. He was at 39 yesterday.
Okay,
yes.
But I thought he got to 40. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, just an insane amount of home runs from those two, and to have it like it's so like non-traditional to have your 1 and 2 be your power hitters, but Tennessee has so many power hitters that you're able to have. Hey, our best 2 hitters, yeah, they hit a lot of home runs, but yeah, they're going to hit first and second. Let's get them the most at bats. Right. But yeah, it's been fun to watch those two, and Blake Burke's got it right now, and I think it's good to have somebody right on his heels. He's not able to get complacent or anything like that with Christian Moore chomping at the bit to get it.
Yeah, I would love to see him go just back and forth for the rest of the season.
Yeah,
I'm not going to pick which one I want to finish in front because I don't care, but I'd love to see it just back.
Yeah, well, let's just get to 60.
They're gonna have to update that graphic. See, like you can't really update it if it stays Blake Burke for the rest of the season.
Okay,
you have to update it though if it keeps changing in and out.
Yeah, I mean, what a weekend for Christian Moore. 3 home runs, 10 RBIs. Great weekend for him. Hey, let's give a standing ovation for Cal Stark today.
Oh man, yes,
dude,
gladly.
Have a day. Have a day. Yeah, that was fun to watch. That was good to see. Kind of a catcher solidify himself as like, hey, this is my job. And I think Cal Stark did that today. I think he played really well this weekend. Did good behind the plate, and then if that bat comes around, I think it's just an added bonus. I mean, he's your 9-hole hitter, and he hit 2 home runs, had 7 RBIs today. I mean, that's unreal. No one else has that.
Stud.
Yeah, stud. I mean, Tennessee hit 12 home runs in 14 innings the last 2 days.
It feels good. The long ball's fun. Chicks dig the long ball. I mean, why would you not want to hit just an onslaught of home runs?
Yeah, just fun, man. Hey, it's something about Danny White. He just loves offense. I don't know.
That guy loves the long ball.
He does. But yeah, I want to get that figured out on Friday or Saturday, whichever day it is. don't want to have to keep. I mean, we'll keep winning rubber matches. I'm not hating on it. I just would rather not play a rubber match.
Right.
Right. You don't, unless you have Xander on the mound for it. You really don't want to be in those.
Yeah. No. Yeah. We just want Xander to go get the brooms out after. But yeah, just want to get that figured out. I don't know what it was because in the first, it was 5-5 after the first 2 innings. Like I was like, okay, like whatever happened, and it just continued to kind of crumble there. And I don't know, AJ Causey just the past 2 weeks has not looked great. Just missing stuff, like getting way too much of the plate. And it's kind of like the same thing with Drew Beam. Like they get ahead in counts, and then with 2 strikes, they just leave it too much over the plate. And, the good hitters in the SEC will tag them. And also you can't like have runners on base. Like it happened today. You give up back-to-back singles, next guy hits a home run.
Right.
That's tough to come back from. Luckily, Tennessee has a really good lineup where it doesn't really matter. But I think Tennessee needs to get healthy. They need to get. It was good to see Andrew Binky back in that rotation. Want to see AJ Russell get back at some point. It looks like that's going to be closer to May, something like that. And then Billy Amick should be back next week. But the fact that Tennessee is able to hit the amount of home runs they had the last 2 weekends without Billy Amick says a lot about this lineup and the depth it has.
Yeah, gosh. Yeah, that's crazy that you're still missing a guy like that bat.
Mm-hmm.
God, I want to stroke so bad.
Get it next week against LSU, baby. Be ready. They aren't ready. That's the thing.
Have they said like he's coming?
I think
ETA.
I think he's back next week.
Okay.
Unless he has a setback, but I think it's ready to go. I think that's what you pinpointed him to be back for. Is
okay.
Like if you're playing in the College World Series, he probably plays this week. I would say, but you're not, so you held him out, and we'll get him against LSU.
Right. Speaking of home run kings, did you see that Georgia Mississippi State kerfuffle?
Yeah, I did. That was
what were they doing? Both sides.
I don't know what that catcher's a idiot.
Idiot.
Yeah.
And let's go into the Coach Carter. Win is winning not enough.
Yeah,
you have to taunt your opponent.
I was like, what in the world just happened?
And it's one thing.
He's out. It would be different if you're mad because he was safe. He was out.
Someone said he went at his knee too. Mississippi State fan. I don't know. It'll shock you. I'm like, I think he was just trying to get home.
Yeah, just trying to be safe.
And then it's also one thing to just maybe turn to him and say, like, I got you. You're out. But then you go stand over him and
like
try to put your nuts on him.
Yeah, that was strange. Yeah, that was a little bit of little man syndrome or something. I don't know what that was. But yeah, the guy was just like,
it was a little more than taunting. It was beyond taunting.
Yeah,
something personal there.
Yeah, it felt like. I mean, even the announcer was like, "Do they have like previous
beef
like
going
beef?"
back?
Yeah.
It was very weird.
Somebody take his girlfriend? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like the guy just like barreled over him.
Right.
He tried to slide past him.
Seemed to be a pretty clean play overall.
Yeah, and he was out. I was just like, "What? Why are you mad?
And
celebrate."
Most importantly, you got him.
Yeah, I mean, celebrate. I don't know. That was just odd.
It's very weird
all around. Mississippi State did it winning the series, which I don't know. Baseball gods are brutal, but if it was up to me, I'd have Georgia win that series. After that. I got another fail. I'll go ahead and use that because we're talking about college baseball. Florida, good God. Swept by Missouri?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tough scene, man. Hey, I hate that for them in that program.
Yeah. I mean, they're coming in like beating all these good teams on the weekends, losing the midweek games, and then they just get freaking swept by Missouri. I mean, yikes. With that kind of talent to not, I mean, they're going to make a regional, but to not host would be insane. It's insane that they're still ranked 6th. They have like 10 losses.
Arkansas is number 1.
Yeah.
Don't they have? I mean, who'd they play this weekend? I'll be thinking of another team.
Arkansas swept, I'm pretty sure.
They did? Okay. I was thinking they either lost. Okay. All right. Yeah. Never mind then.
Yeah, they are really good.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's the thing, too, is like Florida could end up being fine. Like you said, they're probably going to end up hosting a regional because they're going to probably put it together with all that talent.
Yeah. Well, it's been weird. They've been losing all these midweek games, and they'll go and beat LSU or beat Vandy, and yeah, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But them losing to Missouri and getting swept by them is alarming, I would say.
Right. Okay. Put on the alarms.
Yeah.
You've been put on alert.
High alert. I don't have anything else for baseball, do you?
No, nothing other than tuning into the Bat Flip tomorrow, 7 p.m.
Yep. We'll do it. You got a good friend to tell us about?
Yeah, guys, Grade A Grounds. Grade A Grounds. They're the best. Every morning I wake up, love to get a good cup of Grade A Grounds. Grade A Grounds is a local coffee roasting company there in Kingsport, Tennessee, owned and operated by 2 educators, both in the Johnson City area. You know educators, you know they know coffee the best. So they're going to give you good coffee, but also what they want to do is give back to the community, students and teachers in their area. So not only are they providing you with great coffee, but with every sale that you guys go and purchase from them, 5% of that is going to go to a nonprofit there in the Tri-Cities area called Coalition for Kids. That money goes directly towards keeping a classroom in the Tri-Cities area stocked with the necessary supplies needed for students. You'll see some of that stuff on display, some of that work those students are doing. When you buy bags of Grade A Grounds coffee, you'll see some of the artistic talents put on display. All the labels of their coffee bags are made by those students that the directors of those art teachers in these Coalition for Kids classrooms. So make sure you guys go check them out. Go get your coffee today. My personal favorite, B is for blueberry. But hey, you follow your heart because you're not going to go wrong with Grade A Grounds coffee. Shout out to them. Go purchase right now.
Yeah, and use promo code, right?
Yeah, promo code GoVols.
Go Vols. All right. Any most important, Joe, if you got any, get in here, my boy.
I was really hoping Caitlin Clark would win it today. Just because I'm sick of everybody hating her for whatever they tell them the reason is.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how y'all feel about the hate of her, but it's weird. It's very weird. Other than some of her annoying outbreaks, but that seems to just be the thing with athletes today. So pick an athlete, they've done it. Yeah. I don't know.
I got to give a brief. I mean, going undefeated in an entire season is pretty impressive. So I'm going to give South Carolina their flowers on that one. I mean,
Don Staley's a real one.
Yeah, it looked like Iowa and Caitlin. I just said Caitlin Clark Hawkeyes were going to run away with it in the first there. And, South Carolina just doing what they do and clawing back and making it really not even. There was just no huge ending to that game. It was over once the fourth quarter started.
Right.
Yeah, I had my future bet on South Carolina, so I'm happy about that. But
yeah, how much did you win?
Just a little bit less than 600. And then
Joey!
I hated that person, but we have Purdue tomorrow for the championship. So
okay, what a dub!
Oh, did you double down on Purdue?
What do you mean? I had their future before the season even started.
Oh, okay.
for the championship.
I was
So
going to say, I thought you like put your 600 that you just wanted to do.
Fuck no, I would never. I'm not winning the game for Purdue.
Have you thought about hedging with UConn for tomorrow to win a little something with that 600 you won?
It's not a great hedge though because UConn's a huge favorite.
Yeah, but if you hedge just a little bit of the 600 you won, not all of it, you're not making up for what you get for Purdue. You just hedge a little bit, so you win a little bit if UConn wins.
Yeah, I didn't hedge today on South Carolina because I just trusted this process. But
I was cheering for you today. I'm not cheering for you tomorrow.
No, I don't. I don't expect anybody to be cheering for me. I'm already like ruining friendships over, But I was like, I placed it back in November. What do you want me to do? Like
I'm rooting for you. I'd rather lose to the eventual champion than someone getting dog walked by the defending national champion.
Fair. Kind of makes Tennessee look a little bit better. Like maybe if you want to just find any glimmer of light. I'm not going to be happy about it. It's not like my most ideal situation. But
how much would you win?
500.
You'd be happy about it.
Yeah. Like, do I hate Zach Edey and Purdue? Yes. Do I like $500? Yes.
Oh yeah, that's like
more than I hate Purdue and Zach Edey.
Yeah, combined, and you got rent for a month in Knoxville.
There we go. Maybe half the rent.
Yeah, I think we cheer. Everyone's got to cheer for Purdue. That's the rule now.
I'm not.
You have to.
Mm-mm.
You don't hate UConn too?
I kind of like Hurley. Like I like Dan Hurley.
I don't love Dan Hurley.
I don't really hate,
and I don't want to see anyone go back to back.
But I don't want to. I don't want Zach Edey to win a championship. I don't.
He'll be forgotten in 3 years.
Yeah.
Regardless.
I mean, regardless, he still lost to a number 16 seed. Let's not forget that. I mean, I know we've already forgotten about it when we're like choosing player of the year, but let's not forget about it when his career ends. That he lost to a 16 seed.
We won't forget it. So, yeah, tomorrow doesn't matter, Landon. Just get our boy Joey Rent.
Okay. Well, I kind of have like a little bit of investment in this. Also, if I win this, I get a $100 gift card to the Vols shop if UConn wins.
Oh, okay.
So, because my bracket is right now on the 99th percentile right now.
Okay. What is that a work thing? What is that?
I joined like a Tennessee one.
Okay.
Somebody did it on there, and I just made it. There's like 50 people in it, so it's like down to me and another guy. He picked Purdue, and I picked UConn.
Oh, that's kind of fun though. That you get to this mano a mano.
Yeah. So my overall rank is 219,000.
That's impressive. Anything below $1 million is pretty good, but being down to 200 is real good.
Who are your biggest bracket busters in that one?
Bracket busters?
Yeah.
NC State for sure.
Okay, yeah.
I did pick them to play Duke, but I had Duke beating them.
That's where I had them dying off at on one of my brackets at least.
And then Clemson's another one. I didn't think Clemson was very good at all, so
yeah,
I had them losing to Arizona.
That checks out.
Mine are toasted. Like they're awful. They're all bad. I mean, there was a good stretch. I was hot for a little bit, and then had right after the Elite Eight, it was bad.
Yeah. I just love like the first day my wife was doing so well, and then she literally picked Kentucky and Auburn to win it or to be in the national championship, and like in her bracket, she just threw it away after the first 2 days.
Caleb, you said you just filled in like round by round your paper one?
I did one round by round.
So it looks really good, like after the fact that you.
Yeah, if you look at it after the fact, yeah, because I got
insider knowledge.
Yeah, well, obviously, like there's still a lot of misses in there. Like I never got Clemson right, ever.
Yeah.
I had Clemson losing to Baylor. I had Clemson losing to Arizona, and then I had I did have Alabama coming out of that eventually, but I still lost like 2 Clemson picks.
Yeah.
For example, I did have NC State in going past. I had them losing to, I had them beating Oakland. I had them beating Marquette, losing to Duke. So, yeah, I mean that's fun to do. I'm gonna do that every year from now on, because that's a fun one to do. Now, in the one I filled out, I mean, I was on Tennessee's side. I was pretty dang near perfect until the Sweet 16, the Elite Eight. I'd only missed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games overall until the Elite Eight on that side of the bracket.
I'm looking at all the celebrity brackets. So Reese Davis is horrible. He's a 5.8 millionth in the country. Jay Billis is 516,000, so definitely no more ball than Jay Billis. Stephen A. Smith, 1.6 million, definitely no more ball than him. So yeah, it's just funny to see how much you don't really have to know ball, I guess, to really do this.
I think I argue it's more helpful to not know ball.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Because it's almost impossible to analyze just any factual. I mean, the women's tournament, I need to start making more women's tournament brackets because it's one of the most predictable things, bracket wise at least.
Yeah. Xander said he made 20 of them. I think if you make 20 women's brackets though, you're more likely to have perfect ones.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
He probably does have a perfect one. He probably just hasn't checked it.
What do you get if you get a perfect women's bracket?
I don't know. That's what I was wondering. I mean, the winnings have to go down pretty significantly, right?
For sure.
It's just $1 million.
It's only $1 million for the men's tournament too, right?
Which isn't that in the grand scheme of things. That's not.
It should be $1 billion because it's not ever going to happen.
You're not risking anything by saying.
Yeah, and you're going to have to give half of it back.
Yeah.
Yeah, those taxes hit hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but how much money are you going to get off media coverage and?
Bingo. You do some interviews.
Yeah.
You can't go on Ellen anymore, though. That's one show you can't go on.
On what?
Ellen.
Crazy.
All right. Any fails?
I have everyone claiming that UConn that wasn't a moving screen or you can't call that in the final seconds.
Well, I don't get that you can't say. I don't it was obviously a moving screen, but then people are but in that moment you can't call that. It's well, what do you
Yeah,
okay, so the ref does his job and now everyone's I get it, obviously, but at the same time, how about you don't set a moving screen with 3 seconds left? That's the ref's not going to decide. This isn't baseball where it's you're going to.
Well, and it wasn't a difficult call to make. It was the girl never stopped. In fact, there was never a moment in time it could have been a legal screen. When people say they're confusing the argument of saying you can't make that call there because there's a lot of calls that are difficult to make because of an element that is ref is determining how they interpret either the rule or what happened there. And people say you can't make that call there because there are situations that I don't disagree with that you look at a play and you go, well, this could have happened or this might have been what they saw or this is how they interpreted the rule in that moment. And you go, you can't make that call there. That play specifically, nothing legal was done at any point in the play. You have to make that call there.
Yeah. Well, I'm just thinking it from the kind of UConn side. If it's not called and they go hit a 3, I mean, then that play was going to be an outcome of the game regardless.
Right.
So, you have to make if you're going to make that call at any point in the game, you have to make it then too.
Well, you had to make it then because it was so obviously a moving screen.
Yeah.
So obviously a moving screen. I think a good example to to change it. I know it's changing sports, so it's a little bit harder to align 1-1 here, but in football, you see often people say you can't make that call there with a pass interference late in a game. But it's not the obvious ones where they're grabbing at their jersey, they're pulling them and twisting them out of the way. It's the hand fighting stuff that does go on all game and where you're going, oh, that could have been also offensive PI, but you're only throwing it on the defender. That is a scenario where people for example, say you can't make that call there in the game.
Mm-hmm.
But no one's ever said that about someone breaking out of a route, tugging on the jersey. It's obvious PI. Then they don't go, you can't call that there. No one says that. And if they do, they're an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to bias check us. If this was Tennessee, we'd probably, like, we would
I would be very upset.
We'd be in the boat if
very
you can't make that call in that moment.
Also, like, no matter who won that game, they're getting beat by South Carolina, so it didn't matter.
That's true.
I didn't need to see UConn. I didn't need to see Gino have a chance of winning though. So that was good for the soul, you know.
Yeah. Oh, he had a mental breakdown.
As did all of their former players on the broadcast that were saying Page over Clark, easy.
Yeah, Diana Taurasi. I'm just like, oh, shocker.
Easy. Come on.
Yeah.
I'll hear arguments for it. Easy, get out of here.
Mm.
Dude, my fail is like any company or school or I guess any like faction of anything that doesn't have Thursday and Friday off for the Masters because I think that's ridiculous. Like I have to now miss work and school and like burden a lot of other people, which like the Masters is that's not changing. Right, that's the control of my experiment. Like that's not. I'm not gonna not watch the Masters. So now, like you're messing yourself up by hosting classes and work, and I think we should have 2 days nationally shut down.
I agree.
And is anybody gonna complain? Anybody? No.
If they do, then straight to jail.
2 national holidays back to back, Thursday, Friday, or Monday through Friday. What?
I think we should have more national holidays. Period. And anyways.
I think we should have a week, like a 1 week during the year where we just like everything's like just vacation. Let's just I'm sure they'd be like the purge, I guess, but like
you just want another spring break.
Give Joey a spring break, okay?
Hey Joey, I got the perfect profession for you. It's called a teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would love the couple months off.
Oh, I'd be a mean history teacher, dude. I'd probably go bald, coach baseball and golf, probably. Yeah, that'd be fun.
And then you would definitely I feel like the hardest thing is going back.
Yeah,
going back after vacation sucks. I couldn't imagine going back after 2 months.
See, but like, remember as a kid, like you were like, "Ooh, like I'm kind of like." It's been a long summer. I haven't been doing like anything consistent. Like I'm kind of ready to get back into a system.
I think it's different. I think it's different too as a teacher because it's a reset. The worst part about coming back to regular work from vacation is you're going to be behind on something.
Yeah.
Whereas like it's a new season. You're starting over fresh.
You also as a teacher, like don't like, I mean, like it's just like kids. I mean, it's not like you're going, I mean, you don't have to I guess it depends on what age you're teaching, but like
the first week or so is like syllabus week anyway. Yeah. Like you don't actually have to expect to do anything.
I don't think you actually even have to like technically do your job. Teachers just like
you just get another week. You just get another week. Just have your syllabus printed out and you're good.
Yeah. I mean, that would be me. And that's probably why I'm not a teacher, but I won't be.
I had a fail. It was or I don't know if you call this a fail. It was kind of awesome. But did y'all see the Rangers and the Devils?
Devils, yeah. That was awesome. That's not a fail. That's just
did they just drop the gloves?
Yeah, as soon as it started. So do you know what the reasoning behind that was?
I don't. I know that they like had some sort of like beef.
Okay.
I think
I figured because I was like, no one just like, hey, let's do it
from a game prior. But I think it was like I love that like I mean obviously hockey fights are always like really good, but I love that like just right when the puck drops, everybody on the ice and everybody in the arena like knew like it was like the announcers were ready, like it's just the puck dropped and the glove just right off.
Yeah. See, but it wasn't weird that it didn't seem that maybe everyone was on the same page because there were 2 guys on each team that didn't start fighting. And then they were like, all right, I guess we have to now.
Yeah.
took a minute. Like, I don't know if it was some individual beef or what.
Yeah.
I wonder if they know like that's going to happen. You're like kind of strategic about it. You're just like, hey, like let's put this guy as a starter, so we don't actually like lose him for the game.
Yeah. Well, your centers are going to win like that. They're going right at it, and then I think it's hilarious where it's like you just drop your gloves and you like find somebody that you like hate the most on their team and just like, all right, let's do it. We should do that in like, I don't want to say football because like, well, yeah, do that in football. Like right when the center snaps it, like no one takes the ball. Like it just
helmets off.
Yeah, because you got the matchups already there.
Okay.
I think there should be I think the sin bin, the penalty box should be more common across sports.
Yeah, I agree.
That's hilarious. We took one of our coworkers to Black Horse in Maryville to watch March Madness. Like that's what we did for like a team outing. And she is like from like Illinois. She's like, "Where's like the penalty box?"
She's from Illinois and she doesn't know basketball doesn't have a penalty box.
No,
I thought she was gonna be from Canada at least.
No. She was like, "Where's the penalty box?"
I have a lot of questions about her life. A lot. But
I think if you know like I feel like if you know what the penalty box is, like you should have just enough knowledge of sports to be like, I mean, maybe you've never watched basketball, but again,
yeah, I mean, I guess like when you watch, like she's obviously watched hockey, so you're thinking like all sports have like a penalty or like a foul or something
that they all have a box
yeah.
associated with it too. Yeah. It's still, again, I have a lot of questions.
Fair enough.
That's all I got.
That's it for me too. I don't have any more fails.
All right, I got a good friend to tell you about real quick. Or Joey, do you have another one?
Nope.
Okay. It's our good friends at Knoxville Tours. It is never too early to think about football season. Tennessee takes on Oklahoma this season in Norman to welcome them to the SEC. Our good friends at Knoxville Tours have a great 5-day tour that takes all the stress off of you when booking and planning an away trip. The trip on the Motor Coach Tour will take you from Tennessee to Oklahoma for the game and some fun stops along the way. It will include transportation to and from Oklahoma, 4-night hotel accommodations, and a dinner show at Cattleman's. Go cheer on the Vols in the Midwest. They will also be doing tours to Arkansas and Vanderbilt this football season. Give Knoxville Tours a call today at 865-688-6232 to book your tour and let them know more important issues seen. Also, go check out our good friends at Roback. That's RHOBACK. Use promo code More Important Issues, 20% off your first purchase. Just great quality clothing over there. Polos. Joey mentioned Masters weekend. They got some Masters gear on there. Also, they got the Tennessee polos that you don't want to miss. It's my favorite polo, Caleb's favorite polo. Everybody who has it, it's their favorite polo. So go check them out. Use promo code More Important Issues, 20% off your first purchase. All right, guys, been fun. We will be back on Thursday. We'll be back tomorrow with the bat flip, and then this show will be back on Thursday, talking more about whatever's going on. Not a lot right now other than baseball, but if we have a coaching search, we'll definitely let you know. We're bringing the boat in, and we out.